Welcome to the podcast Rodeo Show. I'm your host, Dave Jackson from the schoolofpodcasting.com. This is where we grab a random podcast and we see how long we can hang on. Then I take my 14 years of podcasting experience and give you my honest first impression. Today, we're going to be listening to the ACE Report. And so I want to just start right there. If I said, hey, we're going to be listening to the ACE Report, what do you think the show is about? Because if you're a big baseball fan, you might think, hey, maybe this is about, great pitchers. I'm thinking maybe it's about pilots. Well, according to their listing in good old Apple iTunes, it says no one needs to feel alone in their transition from military life to civilian life. Many of us struggle with similar problems and go through the same things. Just because we don't wear the uniform anymore, it doesn't mean that we don't have each other's backs. Their website is theacereportpodcast.com, and we're going to listen to an episode of that right after this.
The following is an opinion, and only an opinion. These are actual, honest first impressions. If you don't like the opinion, feel free to never listen again.
All right, and here we go with the ACE Report. It goes a little something like this.
This is the ACE Report. Veterans talking to veterans about military life, civilian life, and the challenges we face.
Welcome to the ACE Report, where veterans tell their story, and we talk about the unique challenges that we face in the civilian world. My name's Howard, I'm your host, and this week I am interviewing Donnie Bovine. Donnie is a podcaster, and he has Donnie's Success Champions podcast. And if you listen at the end of the interview, he'll tell you how to find him online. But before we get to the interview, I want to talk about the Objective Zero app. If you are a veteran, you need to have this app. On the Objective Zero app, you can find someone to talk to if you need to talk. And you can talk in any kind of multiple communication mediums, either via text or video call or regular audio call. You can reach out to any veteran who is willing to listen, and they have specific information available for you about those veterans, what branch they served in, what their MOS was. You can find someone who really understands what you've been through. Go ahead and download their app, whether you're someone who needs to talk, or if you're not someone who needs to talk, you can sign up as an ambassador. That's a veteran who's willing to listen, someone who can lend an ear and give an understanding response to someone who just needs somebody to talk to, another veteran, someone who's been through the same types of things that you have. Every veteran should have this app, in my opinion, and they don't pay me to say that. I just believe in what they're doing. Now, stay tuned. At the end of the interview, I'm going to give you how you can contact me if you're a veteran and come on the show to tell your story. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of guys who have told me how therapeutic it is just to talk to somebody about some of the stuff that they've been through. And we're going to do a recap episode in the near future where I have some of the guys on that have come and told their stories, just to kind of talk about what the process meant to them and how they're doing now.
All right.
But every person who's come on the show has mentioned to me at some point after that just telling their story is therapeutic. So if that's you, if you want to come on the show and share your story, then listen all the way to the end of the show, and I'll give you the contact information for how you can do that. And now, here's my interview with Donnie Bovine.
All right. And I'm going to listen to the end, apparently.
Welcome to the show, Donnie Bovine.
Hey, brother. Glad to be on here. Thanks for having me here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad we can make this happen. I appreciate you stepping up too in a time when interviews are becoming fewer and farther between for me. So this is really much appreciated.
Absolutely.
That makes no sense to me.
Schedules are getting busier and busier. So glad we get this one fit in there.
For sure. Donnie, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So what I love, what I can tell everybody now is I'm a podcaster now, which is not something I would have said, even 7 months ago.
I'm going to give him one.
So I get an opportunity to share people's stories, their walks in life, and help them share their journey in hopes that it inspires other people.
Right.
You know, in
'Cause I need
addition to that, I do a lot of
inspiration.
public speaking across I got to say international, because I just got back from Ireland speaking there. And I do a lot of private coaching. People usually come to me for the sales side of things, just because that's my background. So really all in, I'm just a guy that's helping people share their stories so we can just change the world just one story at a time.
That's awesome. Now, where did you grow up?
Yeah, sorry. Man, you had me and you lost me. I love the fact that it starts off, boom, here's what it is, here's what we do. And if we go back to your tagline, where it shows veterans talking to veterans, check, about military life, meh, civilian life, okay, and the challenges we face. Nowhere in there does it say veterans talking to veterans about their life history. I would, without listening to this, I would highly doubt that where this guy came from has anything to do with his story. I don't know. For me, I'm like, and the whole thing, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with the military? Because when you say, tell me about yourself, I cringe, because it could be like, well, I was born in Poughkeepsie. My father was, a Nerf football, creative director of, whatever. Give them a direction and get them going in the direction that your audience wants to hear about. It's sad to say, there's a book, I wish I could remember the name of it. It's something about content marketing. Your audience doesn't care until you give them a reason to care. And right now we don't know you. That's the other thing. You say, hey, but having problems with scheduling stuff. I didn't know that. I haven't been here before. It's kind of weird. So that wasn't really needed. But yeah, you started off, and I mean, it was like bam, bam, bam. And then the other thing is, why is that app not paying you? You just did a good minute and a half spot. And I love the fact that it shows your passion of helping people. That much I love. But reach out to that app and go, hey, how about a few shekels for me? Because I'm pimping your app here. Or make sure you're signed up. If that's on an iOS device, make sure you sign up for the Apple affiliate program and at least use an affiliate link. But in the audio, if I wanted to listen through the ears of a podcaster, when you switch to the interview, it took a slight hit, but definitely still listenable. But I would have started off, instead of tell me a little bit about yourself, I would have said, how did you get involved with, when did you decide to join the military? And then if he says, well, when my dad was murdered, I decided to go, whoa, hold on. Your dad was murdered? Okay. But I don't need to know his backstory and where he came from, unless somehow it later ties into the story. But to me, I was just like, so other than that, I thought it was, like I say, the audio quality was good. The beginning was just like bam, bam, bam. And I'm like loving this. And I thought the ad went a little long, but I gave you a pass on that because you were so passionate about it. I'm just like, please get paid for that. Holy cow. So again, if you want to check him out, go out to the acereportpodcast.com. I love the concept of it because, man, and number one, thank you for your service. All of our veterans, it's hard to come back from active duty and get back into, for lack of a better life, regular life, civilian life. And there are a lot of challenges, and wow, what a great message that you're putting out there. So if you would like your podcast right here on the Podcast Review Show, all you have to do is go to your browser, put in podcastrodeoshow.com, and you will see right at the top of the screen, it says Podcast Rodeo Review, $5, or any giant Fiverr button. You can click on that. There is no upsell. It's $5. I'm thinking about maybe later adding an upsell, like, hey, if you want me to do your whole review, it's an extra amount of money. Right now, it's just $5. Check it out, podcastrodeoshow.com. And if you're like, Dave, what if I do want a whole review? Well, we've got that covered too. Right now, if you go to podcastreviewshow.com, that's a show that I do with my buddy Eric K. Johnson. He's got 30 years of experience in radio. I take my 14 years in podcasting. We go over your website. We go over your audio. We go over the flow of information. And we go over your podcast head to toe. If you're interested in that, check it out, podcastreviewshow.com. That is going to do it for episode number 202 of the Podcast Rodeo Show. Thanks so much for listening. This is Dave Jackson from the School of Podcasting.com, reminding you to always enjoy your ride. Take care.